You think you're unmotivated, but that's not the real problem. You're just stuck running a mental operating system that wasn't designed for your next level. A lack of motivation has nothing to do with laziness, and everything to do with a misalignment between your identity and your actions. Let me give it to you straight. There's a mindset hack, a mental trick, that literally rewired how I think, how I show up every day, and what I believe I'm capable of. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. Most people try to change their lives by pushing harder. New habits, new routines, more discipline. But what if I told you, the real transformation moment doesn't start with behavior. It starts with identity. Because the brain doesn't follow what you want. It follows what you believe you are. Write this down. We do not allow ourselves to have a life that is not congruent with our identity. The version of you who's crushing their goals isn't somewhere far away. They're locked behind a false identity you keep protecting. Here's why. Your biology is designed to conserve energy. It wants certainty, predictability, and safety. So it builds a model of who you are, and then filters every thought, habit, and emotion through that lens. And the second you try to change it sounds the alarm bells, threat detection, resistance. That's not weakness per se, it's your brain doing its job. The problem is, your current identity, the one built by old experiences, failures, fear, is often the exact thing standing in the way. So here's the mental trick. Stop trying to achieve your way into a better life. Start embodying your way into it. Dr. Andrew Huberman talks about this in his work on neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't a hardwired machine. It rewires itself based on what you do repeatedly and what you emotionally attach meaning to. That means every time you show up in alignment with your future self, even in tiny ways, your brain updates the story of who you are. That's not wishful thinking, it's biology. Let me walk you through how this works on a neurological level. Inside your brain is the mesolimbic dopamine system. It's what drives motivation and reward. But here's what most people get wrong about dopamine. It's not just released when you achieve something, it's released when you believe you're making meaningful progress towards something that matters to you. That's why someone who's building a dream life feels more alive while grinding than someone who's stuck in a comfortable rut. The difference isn't energy, it's identity. And the way to flip that switch is this: stop obsessing over results, start obsessing over alignment. Here's what that means. Step 1. Craft your identity statement. This isn't an affirmation, it's a decision. I am a person who blank because I value blank. For example, I am a person who follows through because I value integrity over comfort. I am a person who trains daily because my energy fuels my mission. Keep it real, make it powerful, attach meaning to it. Your brain only changes when there's emotional weight behind the words. Step 2, align with that identity daily. One choice, that's all it takes. You want to build confidence? Make one bold decision today that your future self would thank you for. Step 3, reflect and reinforce. At the end of the day, ask yourself, did I act in alignment with who I'm becoming? That question alone builds self-awareness, self-trust, and the very confidence most people chase but never find. Let me tell you my transformation moment. I was working non-stop, setting goals, missing goals, burning out, repeating the cycle. I told myself I just needed to try harder. But deep down, I was exhausted. Not from the work, but from trying to become someone I didn't believe I was. And that's when it hit me. You don't need to push harder when you finally believe in the person you're becoming. You become the kind of person who does the work, not because you have to, but because it's just what you do. And that right there, that's what I teach in my program, Visionary Confidence. It's not about fake hype, it's not about just visualize it. It's a complete system for becoming the kind of person who doesn't just set goals, they execute them, boldly and consistently. Visionary Confidence gives you the tools to rebuild your identity from the inside out, using science-backed methods, guided frameworks, and the exact mental rewiring practices that I and others have used to go from stuck to unstoppable. If you've been feeling like your potential is buried under doubt, fear, or inconsistency, this is your next step. But only if you're done playing small. Let's go deeper. Here's another mindset hack 99% of people miss. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your self-image. That's why most New Year's resolutions fail by February. Not because the goal was bad, but because it didn't match the person you believed you were. Your subconscious will always pull you back to what feels familiar. That's why change often feels like sabotage. Not because you're failing, but because you're outgrowing an old identity. And growth always costs something: comfort, certainty, ego. But what you gain power. Power over your choices, power over your emotions, power over your future. So here's the final challenge. Forget motivation. Forget hustle culture. Ask yourself, what would the most powerful version of me do right now? Then go do that, even if it's uncomfortable. Especially if it's uncomfortable. Because that's where the new wiring happens. That's where the shift locks in. You don't need another tip. You need a transformation moment. Let this be it. If this landed for you, drop "I'm becoming" in the comments. Let the world know you're stepping into something bigger. And if you're ready to take real action on this, check out the link below and join Visionary Confidence. It's time to stop second-guessing yourself. You don't need permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to become the kind of person who follows through. Because that's who you are now. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're right on time. But only if you move now.